Hi everyone, I am Anagha from Access Language School and today let us discuss about OET, especially the listening and speaking test. What all you need to take care of or what all are the effective tips through which you can face this exam. First of all, let us look into the speaking session. So, someone who initially hears about the speaking session would be thinking about what all should I speak about, how should I present myself, what all points should I include in my conversation so that it appears to be attractive. So, let us find answers to such questions. First of all, the speaking test or in the speaking test, you will be provided with a 2 minutes of preparation time and you are required to speak for about 5 minutes. Something to be noted is that when you are provided with your preparation time, don't be in a panic. Be composed and relaxed. Let not the fear conquer you. Always be composed, always be courageous. Second thing is that the speaking test does not have a set order or a set manner. It differs from context to context. It is something which doesn't need much explanation, especially to the medical professionals, because one medical case is entirely different from the other one. Therefore, you need to speak according to your context. Next thing is, whenever you are provided with the question, think that as if it is a real life situation and if you were to be confronted to it. So how would you speak? That is the only thing which you should keep in mind. Next thing is that, how shall I start my conversation? How do you normally start a conversation? By greeting someone. So when you find your patient or when you meet your patient, first of all, greet them. You can greet them according to the time. For example, if you're meeting them in the morning, address them with good morning. Then good afternoon, good evening, depending upon the time. Second thing is, introduce yourself. You can mention your name. Otherwise, if your patient already knows you, no need to mention your name. If you know your patient earlier, you can mention that person's name. Third thing is, try to gather as much information as possible about the patient regarding their age, their lifestyle, their job, their family history, because this would hugely help you in order to have an overview about the disease of that patient. Maybe he is suffering or she is suffering from a genetic disorder, we don't know. Therefore, encourage them to speak about their disease. For example, try to ask them, what might be the reason that you are suffering from this disease? Did you had any kind of symptoms or did you notice any kind of symptoms before having this disease? Had you undergone any treatment or medications before this? Try to gather as much information as possible. In other way, try to engage your examiner continuously in the conversation. And towards the end, you can say to them what all medications should they take in order to maintain their health properly. In this way, you can end your conversation effectively. Another thing is that whenever you are in your conversation, try to enjoy it as much as possible so that the examiner will also be able to equally enjoy it. But something to be kept in mind is that when you are speaking, you should have good language skills, which is one of the dominant criterion. So, the language skill is marked depending upon your fluency, the rate or tempo in which you speak, the kind of expressions, the word expressions which you use, the grammar and vocabulary you incorporate in your sentences so that whatever you speak becomes intelligible to your patients. Now, another thing you might have noticed would be in the scoring system, a second criteria has been added. That is nothing but clinical communication criteria. Keeping aside the language skills, why do we need this clinical communications criteria? Because although you are an expert in your medical profession, if you are not able to properly communicate with your patients or his or her bystanders, there is no use in it. Clinical communication criteria includes building a very warm relationship with them, gathering as much as personal details as possible about them, as I already mentioned earlier, by encouraging them to speak out, incorporating their perspectives and always addressing them without having any kind of prejudgments or preconceived notions. In this way, you can successfully complete your speaking skills. Now, moving into the next section, that is the listening test. It is considered to be one of the difficult tests due to various reasons. like the audio is played only once, it is not repeated, and also due to the accent issues. Although we cannot find a complete solution to all these problems, but at least we can have certain tips to it. First of all, the first thing is, whenever you hear the audio, hear it patiently, without any preconceived notions that I will not be able to catch up with the accent. Let your mind be like a tabula rasa or a plain blank sheet or a slate where the audio which you hear would make impressions. Second thing is, whenever you hear the audio, try to mark the keywords or the key points so that it will greatly help you in order to locate your answers. Before the audio is played, you will be provided with a time of 30 seconds. In that time, you can utilize that time to mark all the important points so that you can easily locate your answers. Now moving towards part B, as you all know, it contains of 6 different extracts and each extract will have different accent. Don't panic yourself, you can easily go through it if you have enough patience. And again, don't forget to mark all the keywords or the important points. Moving towards the part C, it is considered to be a bit challenging, but still you can get through it. As I already mentioned, don't forget to mark all the key points which you feel may be important. Next thing is, make it a habit of hearing health talks and podcasts, not of one accent but of different accent. And also try to practice with all the good materials available, because practice is something which will definitely make you perfect. Last but not the least, I would like to say that never get intimidated by anything or anyone present in the examination hall, because it's only your self-confidence and your belief in yourself, not overconfidence, which will help you to achieve flying colors. Thank you.